You are now listening to the Vitalize podcast. Hey yo, what up, family? Welcome back to the Vitalize podcast. You're here with your friendly neighborhood host, Mr. Marcus Black, and happy Freedom Day. Let's go. Happy Independence Day. Yo, man, shout out to Freedom, man. Woo! Freedom, America. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Go, shawty. By shawty, I mean America. It's your birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday. Happy birthday, America. Some of y'all like, oh, man, this dude is silly. Yes, I am. But, man, honestly, I just got super serious super quick, but I can't help it. In this moment, I'm being super silly. But seriously, shout out to Freedom, because I just had a moment where I just thought about the joy I possessed in my heart, just being free to share, free to say, free to smile, free to laugh, free to joke, free to be silly and sing a song. But there's some places in the world where people aren't able to do that. There's some places in the world where some people, there's no joy. There's war-torn this and that. There's dictatorship. There's starved, literal starving, and like physical starving. There's also figurative starving where there's no opportunity to express creativity. Yeah, we live in a nation where we are very much able to do that. Shout out to Freedom. And that's really what I wanted to talk about today. If you're here for the very first time, welcome, man. Listen, what you'll see, this is a mixed bag. What you'll get, positivity. You'll get positivity every week. Inspiration, motivation, affirmation, all positivity all day. Talk about all types of subjects. I refuse to be boxed in, but they're all in a life-giving way. That's what Vitalize means. It means to give life to. And so whatever we talk about is just going to be life-giving. So I know there's different people who feel different type of ways. Listen, no matter where you fall on the spectrum, we're going to always kind of be right in the middle of the road, just kind of fair. I'm not divided. I don't believe in division. I understand. You know, if we look for it, we could find any and every reason to be divided. You think sugar goes in rice and grits. Ugh, makes me want to puke. Sugar don't belong in that. Sugar goes in cake. Butter, salt, pepper in grits and rice. I said what I said. Argue with your mama. And, you know, but there's something people will really fight about that. Like, for real. Like, there's all these little things like that, you know, do you put the cereal first and then the milk, or the milk first and then the cereal? Like, people will really fight about that. Oh, man, where do you come from? North or south, east or west coast? You know, black or white or brown, red and yellow, black or white? Well, who are you? Where are you from? What street you from? What town you from? What community from? What neighborhood you from? People gonna argue, man, division running amok. And I'm like, bro, forget all that, man. At the end of the day, my heart bleeds red just like yours. My heart pumps red blood through each valve and each part of my body, and so does yours. I got the same amount of veins as you last time I checked. I was about to say I got the same amount of teeth as you, but that ain't all the way true, because some of us might have a few less teeth than others just because of life, you know, but that's okay too. We started with the same amount, but I had to chew my food and digest it just like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put on my pants one leg at a time just like you. Last time I checked, ain't none of us actual literal Kal-El Superman. So, you know, all that to say, what connects us is far greater than what divides us. And to be honest, like let me show you where I learned that message. I was going to a church, incredible church. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just say the name. Shout out to Quail Springs Church of Christ. I was going to Quail Springs Church of Christ on May Avenue in Oklahoma City. Massive church. But I kid you not, I promise you, legitimately right next door was Quail Springs Baptist Church. They literally shared a property line. And it was also a massive church. And I'm like, that's kind of odd. You know, you see churches close to each other, but not that close. They're literally like one church, two church, red church, blue church, right there. Speaking of, shout out to red, white, and blue, baby. You know what I'm saying? You see the red, white, and blue ensemble for America. Happy birthday. You know what it is. But here we are. Two churches, one property line. But in the middle of that property line was a massive cross. And I thought, that's pretty cool, actually, just a nice cross. But I didn't realize it had a significant meaning. What I didn't know is that, and listen, y'all know how it is with churches. Different denominations, churches can be like Bloods and Crips. Worse, sworn enemies, because you don't think like I think. You don't believe like I believe. Your doctrine isn't my doctrine. They ready to fight. They ready to go at it. Yet, and still, these churches came together. And I learned this at one of the churches. He said, we came together with them and their leadership and decided we want to show the world a united front. So in order to show the world a united front, a unified front, they jointly purchased a massive cross and they put it directly on the property line of both properties because they wanted to show the world what connects us is far greater than what divides us. Ooh, let that sink in. And when I think about everything that's going on in this world, I think about the division, I think about the hatred, I think about race relations, I think about politics, I think about all that stuff. And you know what I think about it? I think you can easily get distracted by a real enemy who don't want to see you win, and distraction leads to destruction. So we hate people that we once loved. We hate family members. We will fist fight a family member. People are killing each other over politics, family. Politics. As if there ain't something greater after this life that governs a whole nother world you're going to live in. When this life is over, you better get to focusing on what matters most. And so as for me and my house, when I teach my kids, what connects us is far greater than what divides us. I don't care that your hair is kinky and your skin is melanated or tan or brown and somebody else's may have a slight of melanin in it. I don't care. Because that's one of God's children just like you are. They might look different. They might think different. They might act different. They might sound different. I don't care if your politics are different. I don't care about none of that. What I care about is a human being with a beating heart, with an opportunity to live and maximize their potential and purpose for being on earth. And we have the freedom to do so in this great country. Freedom of religion, freedom of choice, freedom to be able to have a podcast and a platform that I built to say what I want to say. I just told y'all, I say what I want to say. I talk about whatever topic I want to talk about. There's nobody lording over me telling me what I can't talk about and what I can talk about. And there's nobody stifling or stopping the content from getting out to the people I wanted to get out to. Freedom. So really today, all I wanted to do is just come with an attitude of gratitude and just say thank you to the people who went out and fought for that freedom. Matter of fact, let me just give you this. I'm a storyteller by nature, if you don't know. So let's just tell the story. So many, many eons, moons ago, there was already a beautiful people in this land. Shout out to the Native Americans. And then there was the British who were going and colonizing the world and doing what they were doing. The British come to this place and they set up colonies. Well, at some point, the British realized, wait, they don't even live over here, so they're not benefiting from our electricity. They're not benefiting from our infrastructure. They're not benefiting from our government. They're not benefiting from our police, our military. They ain't benefiting from none of that, but we can still collect them taxes, though. We can still get that bread. Hey, y'all send us these taxes. We'll ship y'all some little products. We'll ship y'all some tea, but we need them taxes, though. We're going to tax you. And at some point, the people over here who are dumped in a new land, trying to build something, community, trying to survive in a new world that they don't understand. And now you got these people who aren't even here making things even harder than they already are. And so they decide this isn't okay. And we came over here because we wanted to explore new freedoms, religious freedom. So we're going to do something different, right? So they say, you know what? We don't want to be a part of you anymore. Just let us be. Can y'all let us be? Just let us go our way. Don't worry about us. We'll figure it out. We don't need nothing from you. We ain't sending you nothing. It is what it is. And really, it's crazy because we haven't been an underdog in so long. Most people have forgotten that part of the history of the country that is America. Here's the thing, because I know some people are listening to this right now and getting angry. I can already see y'all comments on YouTube. This fool is delusional. He's telling the watered down version. Number one, my heart is not to aid into division. I am not a fool, nor am I ignorant to the nuances of the birth of a nation. I know that there's some bittersweet in the birth of a nation, just like there's some bittersweet in everything on this planet. Can I tell you a secret? There's bittersweet in you becoming who you were. You haven't always made every right choice. You haven't always been the best person to everybody in your life. You haven't always, ooh, some people in your own house, you haven't treated them with kindness and fairness and love at every turn. So yes, I am well aware of some dark moments throughout the history of our country and our nation. Yes, I am. But that also does not take away from the courage of a small group of people, underdogs, who are willing to fight so that we can sit here and have the freedoms that we have today. Whether it's perfect, no, it is not, far from it. Or whether it's as good as it could ever be, no, it is not. And if it's ever going to be as good as it's ever going to be, it's going to take all of us to quit talking about it and be about it and make it what we want it to be. But that's another conversation for another day. But that does not change the fact that a group of underdogs band together and they said, if they won't let us have it, we're going to take it. Give me liberty or give me death. We're going to fight for it to the death. And that's exactly what they did. And a small ragtag bunch of farmers and villagers fought off the most powerful army in the world, and a nation was born. And I think in many ways we still possess that spirit, maybe not as a global power, but we possess that spirit in the individuals. What do we love most in this country? We don't love to hear some billionaire, silver spoons fed person on TV telling us how we need to live our lives and get like them. Nobody here cares about that. Keep it a buck, fam. You know what we love in this country? We love an underdog. Oh, America loves an underdog. We love to see the person who was spit on, who was kicked while they were down, who were forgotten, who were beaten, downtrodden. We love to see that person rise above every adversity that tried to break them, and then they go and become what they were meant to become in spite of that. We love to see it. You love to see it. I love to see it. That's what we love. Think of some of our darkest moments in our nation's history. I live in Oklahoma City. I don't now, but I did live in Oklahoma City for 17 and a half, almost 18 years. And there's something that I learned about living in Oklahoma called the Oklahoma Standard. And that is where the community of Oklahomans come together and fight for one another. They fought for community. They fought to serve. And typically you see the Oklahoma Standard after some form of tragedy, like the first ever terrorist attack on American soil in 1995 with the Murrah bombing, the Oklahoma City bombing. And that's the first time you really see the Oklahoma Standard. Then you look again, and we've had countless storms, countless tornadoes that have ripped entire communities to smithereens. And you know what happens in the face of such great adversity? Oklahomans from all over band together, come together, provide water, provide cleanup, provide resources, provide food, provide shelter, and just take care of one another. Why? Because we understand that in many ways we're still those underdogs. What about that mom and pop whose shop just got obliterated and they got to start over from scratch? They lost everything. We're going to come together and we're going to make sure their walk and their load is a little lighter. America's no different. September 11th. After those buildings went down, you saw people from all over this nation make their way to New York and start to clean up and join the search for bodies. And like, we all felt that. No human being in the United States will forget where they were. If you were alive and old enough to be conscious, you will not forget where you were when that happened. I was in 9th grade physical science class. I'll never forget Channel 1 News, and they just taking over the news, and we watch, not the first one. The first one just happened, and we watched the second one happen while the news is being reported. Never forget that. You will never forget that. But you know what happened? We got better as a nation. We got better as a people. And sometimes we lose sight of those things. Sometimes we lose sight of that grit in the beginning of our nation. Sometimes in many ways we can get so entitled now because it is a great land. And there's so much entitlement and so much like this and that and people being pulled in all directions that we losing focus of what made us great in the first place. There's so many people yelling, "Make America great again." And I know what they mean. And you can debate a political statement. This ain't about politics. I'm just saying, like, in many ways, like, do we even know what it means to be great? How can you get to something again that you believe once was if you don't even know what great is? Where is the love? Where is the community? Where is the sense of neighborhood? Where is the sense of that standard in Oklahoma that also is an American standard, is where that was birthed, of taking care of my fellow man, and then looking out for one another and building each other up and helping each other succeed and going and creating opportunities for everybody. I don't care, red and yellow, black and white. I don't care what you look like. Creating opportunities for all, equal and equitable opportunities. Where? Well, it still very much lives here, but we live in a world where we have allowed society to tell us through the media all the negative things, and that's where we hyper-focus and we get distracted by that. Yet every person I know, when I'm down, my people look out for me, and I don't care if they red, yellow, black, or white. They look out for me, and when they're down, guess what? I don't care if they're red, yellow, black, or white. If I got it, you got it. Community. When I was able to raise $70,000 for a hurting nonprofit that was on the brink of having to close its doors because COVID happened and a lot of businesses lost funds. Over 50% of all nonprofits went out of business, not the one I work for, because we were able to collectively come up with those funds because the community showed up and said, we care. And that was people from all races, all walks, and all creeds. That's the beauty that is America. So I just want to say, yes, it's nuanced. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a mixed bag, but that's what makes this place great. This place is already great. It's great right now because I can sit here on a random day and I can have a cookout. Listen, the cookout shall be had. Ribs, barbecue ribs shall be had. I don't know how that became synonymous with the 4th of July, but ribs shall be had. Some baby backs. And sit around with my family and watch my kids laugh and jump in the pool and just have a ball. And we have the freedom to do so. Guess what? I have the freedom to have this platform to say what I want. I have the freedom to hop on a plane and travel anywhere in this country and go and speak life and inspire audiences of people who come from where I come from, who don't come from where I come from, who look like me, who don't look like me. This is America. I have the ability to go and be kind. I have the ability to share my thoughts. I have the freedom. What does freedom look like to you? I end this like this. What does freedom look like to you? What does freedom mean to you? What does it mean to be really, fully, wholly free? What does that really mean? Do you know? Do you know what freedom looks like for you? Some of y'all can only think of financial freedom. Guess what? That's free. Wouldn't it be nice? I saw this dude on TikTok and I died laughing because I know what he felt like. He said, man, I don't want to be rich. I just want to be rich enough. And I'm like, okay, little contradictory, but he kept going. So I don't really want to be rich. I just want to be well off enough that my light bill can be on auto pay. He said, you know how devastated I would be? Like, you know how good it would feel if my light bill could just come out on a random Tuesday, it's just Tuesday and my light bill goes through and I'm still straight? He said, no, I got to shut my card off and leave it off until I know that I got the funds so I can turn it back on so you can take only what's yours so I can turn it right back off. I'm dying laughing because I lived that cycle before. I lived in that world. I know exactly what he meant. I have been there before. And he's like, I'm not trying to be rich, man. So we know what it means when people say financial freedom. You want it. But guess what? Because we live in this country, in every state, you can go to your state government, file your paperwork for a LLC, create an actual registered company and start making money. You can sell whatever product you want. Go to your city, get a permit and sell whatever you want. Create. You can do it in this country. That's the beauty. It's free. That's freedom. You can have financial freedom. Now, you can't have it without putting some effort in. You can't have it without putting some work in. People are like, man, it must be nice to work for yourself and set your own schedule. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's more than nice. It's incredible, but that's not easy. Because there's also nobody in a couple days about to just write me a check because I showed up. I gotta go and hunt for every single penny. But I wouldn't have it any other way. And because I have the freedom to do so. Maybe you want physical freedom. And whatever freedom looks like for you, I just want you to, if you have it, be thankful for it. And if you don't have it, go fight for it. If you need financial freedom, go fight for it. Go fight for your freedom. You have the freedom to do that in this country. Go start your company. Go start your nonprofit. Start raising your funds. Get your monies together. Make a product. Create and go put it in the world. If you need physical freedom, maybe it's from an abusive relationship, maybe it's from a toxic job or career, guess what? You have the freedom to walk away. Now, consequences come with all choices. It might get a little tighter and a little harder before it gets a little better, but you have the freedom to do so and the ability to take the steps to make it better. You don't have to stay trapped in that toxic situation. You can escape. Whatever that looks like, you can have freedom. And you have freedom to go create freedom in your life. And if you have freedom, and we all do because you're right here listening to me, you have a cellular device, no matter who may or may not be listening to them or who may or may not have access to get in them when they need to, you have one. And you have the ability to do whatever you want on it. You can take whatever pictures, videos, you can create on that phone. You can create business plans on that phone. You can create notes on that phone. You got freedom. Be thankful for it. You can walk outside your house. Nobody's telling you when you can or cannot use the bathroom. Nobody's telling you when you can or cannot lay down or when you can or cannot take a nap. Like, you have freedom, and this you should be thankful for. You should be grateful for freedom. I'm grateful. And I just want you to be grateful to it. So as we celebrate the birth of a nation, man, and we celebrate the beauty of a nation, the complexity, but the beauty. It's a beautiful place with a beautiful people. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'm thankful for the freedoms to be able to show up for you. I'm grateful to be able to travel to where you are, stand on the stage and speak life to you. I'm grateful to be able to hop on a phone, press record, press live, and be able to inspire people all over the globe. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I can do what I want when I want. I'm grateful that I can, not everything I want. Listen, I ain't got a Bill Gates bag. I don't got the Donald Trump bag yet. But listen, one day that type of financial freedom is coming too, but it's not going to come easy and it's not going to come without a fight, but I'm willing to fight for it because I know that it's accessible, it's available to me, and I have the opportunity to make it real because I live in America. So happy birthday, America. You keep being great. And all of you listening to me, even whether if you're not in America, thank you for celebrating America's birthday with us. No matter where you are in the world, listen to this. I know it's a lot of y'all all over the planet that tap in with this podcast. So I do want to say thank you as well and sending you lots of love wherever you are. Thank you for celebrating with us. But listen, man, we're going to get out of here and we're going to go live it up and we're going to go live free and we're going to go live full. Because we can. And no matter where you find yourself, I want you to go maximize your freedoms. I don't want you to take your freedoms for granted. I want you to go create the dream that you want. I want you to put the plan on paper. I want you to make it clear. I want you to step into it. I want you to show up and show out every single day. And I want you to go make the dream real. And I want you to go live out the freedom, being grateful for what you have. And I want you to go and maximize every ounce of potential that you have in your life. And I want you to do it for no other reason than simply because you can.